Okay, this is my 40% more, okay, from the beautiful mountains of Panama. And what I mean by 40% more is the David Goggins phrase where, you know, people can, what was discussed today in my mastermind this morning that I'm just leaving. I did a cold shower just after, and now I'm just out. Oh my God, look at that. So the cloud is around us right now. That mist right there is cloud. We're in cloud forest. Absolutely amazing adventure. Panama saved my life. Well, you know, there's no borders really. We made those. But naturally, this Central and South American region and all across it, I keep it moving. Pay attention to my channel and you'll see that. I was on an island yesterday. I'm in the mountains today. I'll be in Argentina tomorrow, right? So, and I'm not in the habit of, you will never really catch, that is the one time you will probably ever catch me giving away where I'm about to go. And not letting a couple days before I post this. I'm just gonna go ahead and fire off. So it matches with the morning mastermind, which I showed up, that we discussed how the average individual, both mental and physical performance, is going 10 to 15% of their potential. Some people push it to 60. And when you push it to 60, according to David Goggins, you still got 40% more. And you start to get into that 40% by saying, can I do one more? Can I do one more? Can I do one more? Right? And I do that when I've been doing that for years in training, especially when training other guys. It's just like, look, hang on the bar until I tell you to get down, right? For pull-ups. And that's it. Just don't get down, whatever you do. And then I'll just one more them, and then they're just jazzed about the 12 or 13 that they just did, right? When they thought they could only maybe do one. So today was extremely, and what I want to add, today's group is Why Are We Here in this mastermind? And the all-in mastermind, and I'll put a link to that below, right? And so those are magic mushrooms because they fertilize this field with, and look, they're everywhere, right? All over the place. So, but nobody here knows what they are or really touches these mushrooms that grow and stuff. So anyway, what I'm saying is, today was just, you know, one thing I didn't mention in the mastermind about why I'm there. There's divine intervention. I was divinely guided from one step to another step to another step to another step, never knowing any of those steps, never having any guarantees, deliberately going into this unknown because I was sick of where I had been, and anything else will do, right? But I knew it had to be honest, and I knew it had to be authentic. And let me tell you how hard it was for me to find that. But I put the work in isolation, and I stopped caring about other people and what they had and what they were and what lies they told and what they thought of me and what judgments or whatever. You know, being that I'm a big guy and I come from a hardcore, long story short, kind of like orphan type situation, you know, and like most of those kids, you know, I had some rough friends, you know, and I have a rough way about me. And it makes it very easy to frame me inside of vicious lies. And so if there's a bad person in my path, they commonly try to do that, you know, and they try to use my past. Hey, what's up, buddy? Don't tell no shit. This is one of the neighborhood guys. Since I was, like what I was just talking about, since I was a dog, you know, all the dogs love me. And we get along, man. Spirit animal. So it's been a minute since I saw this guy. Okay, no, jumping, no jump. Already dirtied my white shirt, but no crying in baseball. So I was so extremely just elevated by today's meeting, that definitely, because it's been hard for me to speak to a camera on my own. And the vibration raise, which is everything, your frequency, your operational frequency is really, truly everything when it comes to self-development, right? And becoming your best self. And a great Braidrose Coolian quote was dropped today. It's like, there's no more higher experience for you than to help introduce someone to their highest self, and being someone who's lost a child, who was locked up from between 7 and 17 most of his life, who's just overcome hardcore, incredible things and has gone on a very rare spiritual journey because of that. I've come to a place where, several years ago, talking to a camera is illegal. Getting in front of a camera is just something I would have never done. But for one person, I embarked on that road because there's no way I was going to get through because of the programming that she had received already. So I just had to check my box of giving the hard truths that I had to give, being the real person that I am, and do it in video. So I did that knowing that the first person to watch each one would be this stalker who's actually literally contacted everyone I know several times with several fake Facebooks, and even made fake Facebooks to impersonate me and impersonate generals of the army, and just insanity. I knew that person would be downloading all that stuff and using it against me, but I didn't care, and it will be used against me in the future. Just let this be a record for it, because I am going to help a lot of people, and I am going to become something. I have every faith that I have been called to be somebody that's going to help a lot of people coming out from a place where I needed a lot of help. And I have 1,000 people I need to thank, and that I do thank every single day. And Mother Nature is definitely one of them, and probably the main one outside, just under God, right? And then my uncle from the other side. And this is a crazy story, man, with serial killers and child kidnappers, and with the shady deals with the government to do it. It's just insane. It's just absolute insanity. And I'm someone who was part of a shady deal with the government and a Kids for Cash scam, where the kiddie jail would get money and my mom would actually get money off my head for me being there. And she was already getting several money, so it was just a little bit more and not having to do her job, like just extreme selfishness. So I have been called through that, and I believe now from above, based on the choices I've made and the character I've presented, I have been really, really somewhat, I feel confident now that I can say I was ordained in a way. And I can remember when I was 13, I had broken out of a lockdown facility, and I ended up traveling with an escaped convict, and at 13 having an ID that's a fake ID, said I was 16, and making $300 to $1,300 a day, staying in Marriott's, and just having this crazy adventure with this crazy hustler who was schooling me on God, schooling me on how to move. And that was also sort of, as I look at it now, I can literally tell you that I was just following the lights. I was following the brightest lights in the city at that time, and they were just there for 2 weeks and then moved on. And I was being drugged, and I can remember I had broken out of one place and got stuck in another place, and the other place after that when I got caught up on the other place, it was just a temporary place, and I was supposed to go back to the other place that was drugging me. So I had like this 2-week window where I could kind of see clearly, and I wasn't just sleeping, totally drugged to sleep. And so I came out of there with Jason Bourne syndrome like a motherfucker, but because I'd been so long and I was just really, jumping fences and following lights at that point. Really, that's all that was in my head. It's just like, what the hell is that? And what the hell is this? And I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I can't just sit here in this box anymore, and the drugs were wearing off, and that was the only, so okay, that's how they kept us in the box as young kids with tons of energy and supposed to be out there growing, right? Anyway, enough of that. So what I'm talking about today with these guys are these higher levels, and this mastermind described by Napoleon Hill, right, as a way to achieve riches, is also a vehicle of incredible, let's just define riches beyond monetary. You know what I mean? To be a high spiritual being is rich. You know what I mean? To be able to overcome heavy, intense physical challenges is rich. It's gangster, man. Might not be in the traditional sense, but at a certain point, once shit's hardcore enough, that's really just the synonym with gangster, right? And what I'm interested in doing is making a chain reaction. I'm hoping and praying, and it's happened to me. I've been a part of these chain reactions. The Wes Watson chain reaction, which we thought today maybe he is somebody that was ordained before even coming to this world, because we've heard so many times how many people have felt like they've been guided to him from above, and I found him. I had actually recessed into the jungle for years, like 4 or 5. And I had come to an internet. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a bank account. I didn't have a phone, bank account. I was totally, I was gone. And I had tried to kill myself slowly. I had beat the hell out of myself. I'm telling you right now, I've been in over a couple hundred street fights. So, I'm the real knockaround guy. Make a movie about me and shit. And but never did I had my ass handed to me like I handed it to myself when I started hating myself because of something I actually didn't have anything to do with, and I could have chose to handle the situation differently. But traversely, I still feel like it's that you can get hit by a truck and then you got to learn to walk again, right? So maybe that's what it was. I feel like that's what it was more. So So I'm looking to be a part of a chain reaction. I'm looking to get into a nuclear, and my diet model can actually have this on the world, because if we start eating a diverse diet and demanding a new type of agriculture that's not toxic to the pollination system, to the soil, you know what I'm saying, that it actually enhances nature, because we're cultivators, we're creative. That's the biggest difference between us and another animal, you know what I mean? So what I want to do is cultivate a new culture, help usher in a new culture of total authenticity and honesty and love. All right, here's the thing. The polar positive, is love. That's it. That's the remedy for all. It's the most powerful force in nature. But we're afraid to use it because we might get hurt. Or we're afraid to, or we don't go there because it's not cool. We've been cultivated by a bunch of weak cultivators that want us weak and not competitive with them, and they don't want us operating with love but with hate and conflict and separation, you know what I'm saying? And what we need is unity, solidarity, honesty, openness, fearlessness. Okay, you need to be courageous and fearless. John Wayne. If we had a bunch of John Waynes in this world, everything would be honorable. You could leave your door unlocked. Nobody's getting raped. You know what I'm saying? But because we have a bunch of pussies that will just sit right there while somebody gets raped and not do anything, even if they're not the rapist, you know what I'm saying? Or even worse, we have a bunch of deceptive motherfuckers that will make up a rape that's not real to convolute the whole situation and just get for self and play some victim role. You know what I mean? And and we think rape is the worst of it. Rape is not the worst of it. We think it's the worst child abuse too, right? It's not. There's an emotional molestation where evil people are stroking a spirit and abusing and breaking a spirit. And they may use a physical means such as rape to do that, but that's not necessary. If they're able to isolate you and program you, man, to unravel that may take divine intervention. And that's exactly what I pray for. And it's happened to me multiple times without question. And one of them is on my Instagram. I'll put that link below. Hopefully, if not, just go to Brandon Angel Fitness and look through the shit. It's nothing but diamonds. And it takes one to make one, and it takes one to know one. And it takes a lot of work to get there, you know, and it is rare. And I'm not, you know, somebody who's tooting your own horn, but I am someone who's living by their example. When I step up to the plate, it's to inspire and get ready, because I'm knocking it out of the park. So, and you know, you're gonna run a lot of bases, and then something's gonna happen. But don't be one of these knuckleheads, the majority, or the 80% of the population that just doesn't even run the bases, because you might just run the bases a bunch of times. You know, do it. All right. You know, I have felt something pushing me, and I have answered the call. A lot of people, like I just said, they'll see an evil and they'll do nothing, you know, and a lot of people will be dedicated to goodness. And this is my particular case, actually, you know, dedicated so hard to goodness and so much more than they are, that they will sabotage your goodness because they can't rise to that level. And they don't want to lose the other people that they're holding down in this misery loves company thing. Instead of having the selfless faith of going into the courageous faith of going into the unknown, and the selfless intention of just wanting to serve rather than what's in it for me, you know. And I'm a victim in all this, which is Henry Rollins' The Liar song is incredibly wise. There's a lot of wisdom there, because if you believe the lie, if it has the ability to affect your life, it will start to creep in on you, even if you're 1000% against it. You know, you will start to become, and my situation is just real dynamic, but you'll have to go to previous episodes to hear about that. And believe me, I was watching them and I talk way too much about it. And I'm done. Through the help of my mastermind, I have taken the cue to completely extract that issue from my mind, body, and soul. As soon as it ever comes up, I'm just like, nope, I am building a discipline that's able to prune and curate a very nice looking bonsai tree of thought and spirit. And that's what we are. If you look at yourself as a cultivator and a creator, and you stay in that creative space, and you realize that what's above is just looking for excellent artistic promotion, or excellent artistic expression, you know what I mean? And they're just sifting through waves and waves of people that have been deceived by the devil to do no artistic expression, and to hate on the artistic expressions of others, and to cause conflict, and to just sit there in some stupid negativity where they oddly think that there's some sort of senior advice on senior position on something. They're the lowliest pieces of garbage. And when I see bullshit on the ground, let's just say, hypothetically, it asks me what time it is. Am I responding? Am I smelling it? Am I asking it how it's doing? You know, no. I know what it is. I know that it will fucking probably do anything to get my attention, because it's a piece of bullshit, and it's unloved, and it's fucking undeserving of love because of its expression. It's not artistic. It's not creative. It's just black hole suck. And there's really no substance there. And so if you validate it, you're enabling it. You're enabling it to continue to be a piece of shit. And so you have to figure that out, man, and let it go. let it be on its own until it can grow up some mushrooms and then change shape, and that's going to take a long time, but it's got to go through its process, you know, especially if it's a piece of bullshit right now. It's got a long way to go. And if you stay attached to that process, first of all, you're not doing it right. You're not helping the bullshit right, and you're allowed through that attachment, you are sucking down some bullshit. And you know what you eat could really play a big role in what you become, you know. And try to outwork a bad diet in the fitness, which is necessary. You can't skip fitness. You have to do it. Pay attention to nature, you'll understand everything better. Okay, and so transversely from cultivating, we have aimlessness. We have watching too much bullshit. We have video games. We have no relationship with nature. We have living in a city, which from a space shuttle was an exact structural comparison with microscopic cancer cells. You know what I'm saying? So we need to look at nature and look at God and look within, right? And realize that the rest of it's more toxic than good. And, it's just pinnacly getting through that toxin, stop living that lie and start living that truth to where you meet your higher self. You know what I'm saying? And you have the courage to do it. And whoever's trying to pull you down and keep you from that, take good note. Take good note, you know, of what the toxic personality is, so that you can avoid it in the future, you know. And you have to care, guys. If you don't care, the world doesn't care. You know, if you don't like money, if you're pissed off at money, you're not going to get any. You know, if you're pissed off at a situation, there's really nothing good that's going to come of it, you know, until you can reach that higher place, that higher vibration, that higher self, and deal with it at that higher mark. You know what I'm saying? But you can't think that you know everything. And listen, guys, if somebody's ahead of you in the game of life and you do not take the opportunity to fucking put yourself in your own place and respect that higher thing and never fucking come out of that place, because that higher thing will just cut you off. It has to. It knows that if it takes another fucking weight bag on, the balloon's not flying as high. You know what I'm saying? So it has no choice. Your conduct is who you are. What you do is who you are. If you tell truths, you're an honest guy. If you tell lies, you're a liar, right? Very simple. And so what you practice, you will become. And what kind of repetition, environment, garden that you're in, it could be a whole, you know, I go through so many different cities all the time, and you can see when there's a generality where the bar is set very low or the bar is set very high. You know, where I'm at right now is an extremely small community, very, very safe in the mountains. All the people are fucking generally very good. But there's a community right over there where I have the very opposite thing to say. Very opposite. Everybody, if the whole community hates a guy, I'm sure that guy's an excellent guy. You know, and they're all, you know, if you go there and you start to see that most of the members of the community are in the bar, the International Liars Club, you know what I mean, every day from fucking 9 a.m. on. Okay, you don't want that life. I promise you, they are not happy. And there's nothing that they're doing that is any value whatsoever. You know, it's black hole suck. That's it. And they're imploding on themselves. They're just implosions, you know. And it's funny that they mostly get fat, but I'm just telling you, you know, their health is going down, okay? They're imploding. And I don't go to any bar. I stay far as fuck away from a liars club and that toxic substance that they're all addicted to. That is the physical, biological state of rot. And I don't play around at all. I'm ruthless when it comes to curating my small circle of quality, you know, and it's lasting because of that. And we're able to overcome hard problems because we're all married to a high place. Okay, so as an old school gym killer, you know, that is truly my story. I've always had to kill it in the gym. I don't have a fat pick. You know, I've never been in a situation where I didn't have to fucking do my push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Ever. I have been paddling the whole time furiously. And let me tell you, there's no better way. There's no better way to do this. I get respect from high-level people at a noticeable level, and you can watch for it. You know, if I'm saying something that's off, if I'm being cocky, please, if there's a defect or weakness or something where I'm blocked or blinded, please tell me. But if I notice that your source, that the source of the information, the person telling me, making the criticism, has a shit lifestyle, way worse than mine, guess what? That is invalidated criticism. There's no longer any weight to that whatsoever. This is not a fucking do as I say, not as I do. This is not a I'll take my gospel from someone who doesn't live it. I'm not a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for the hardcore. The hardcore. And that's the title of this video. Go more and go hardcore. And then, you know, keep in mind, this is a dynamic venture, and love is the most hardcore power of them all. And it's the only thing that I want anything to do with. So, and people oftentimes will take you for soft, but let me make this example. That's okay. And we handle it in a different way. And I used to be that guy. I'm telling you, I'm the real knockaround guy. I've been in hundreds of street fights. I've been in gunfights. I've been divinely saved, like the Pulp Fiction scene. I literally had somebody cock 5 rounds at me, dropped the glass door that was right behind me. I thought for sure I had been hit. And but anyway, I've been in all this, you know, I've been stabbed in the head. You know, if I shave my head, you'll see stab marks all over the back of it. You know, I've been stabbed in the body. I've been, listen, I've had tons of shit go down, and I was the first one to jump. I was throwing my life away. I was the youngest one hanging out with hardcore dudes that would say from time to time, where the fuck is this kid's mom? You know what I mean? And shit like that. And I have 1,000 people to thank. Thousands of people bought me food. Thousands of people gave me places to stay. And I'm gonna return the favor by doing that for thousands of young kids that are in my same situation now. And I love that, and that's all I want to do. And I don't care, you know, I do care about money. I would like to make a lot of it, you know. And I told my friends, I was like, hey, what we got to do is all buy supercars too, so we can get that attention, and then bend the whole shit by selling them and opening fucking orphanages off of each sale. You know what I mean? And youth programs, and running an online tiered system of fucking self-betterment, and electing the managers of those places through this, and like really turning us back onto the proper diet, and really, you know. So I got a big vision here, man, and I'm on a big mission here, and I keep myself very safe, and that's what I'm saying. I don't really give my location, and I'm always moving. I'm never in the same place for more than 5 days. And it's because my mission's too big. I'm not even going, dude, it will be so impossible to fuck with me and stop what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is so important, you know. And I know that there's enemies out there, you know, that have done the most ridiculous shit already. Child abuse, 10-year child abuse to bring me down through my child. My child has literally been victimized just to bring me down. And that has gone on now for 12 years, and the kid is so programmed. And again, I'm done talking about that, but I'm just telling you that is an overcoming right there. That donation of life is now has a huge, you know, our demons are really actually our blessings, because they have sacrificed their souls. Some of them will definitely burn in hell as we ascend and get wings in heaven. And I mean, that's the whole thing. It's a test of us all with a free will and a consequence, right? But what God is doing is cultivating a strong, honest group, you know. And that's why they say in the heavens it's absolutely beautiful, because there's just simply no darkness there. There's just simply not. but to do some special artistic expressions, we come here, we feel pain, we overcome, we grow, and I can tell this to you with complete sureness because, you know, my uncle, who was killed by a demon, who still walks around and lies on the dead bodies. He killed several people, and all just to make himself look cooler. He's going to do that. And would you believe that he's a chaplain and he's got the sheep's clothing on? But anyone in this case, with any bearings whatsoever and any salt, any character, can tell right through this. And if you can't tell, that's the character thing right there. I suggest you start cultivating it. So that's my 40% more. I really had to push it out. I really came to my mastermind today and gave my all. And all my gym sessions every day before that, right? You know, I'm actually starting to break down my body a little bit. And, you know, but I'll have some abs. And I'll fit the bill and I'll do what I need to do according to the people who are greater than I, that are ahead of me in this game. And even if I don't really understand it, or I'm not that passionate about it, if it's a step that they say is critical, I'm gonna have to do it to earn their respect and to earn their guidance on the next thing. And that's the thing. That's one thing. I wish, two things. One, I wish someone would have told me even more than what I naturally learned on my own. And the only reason I'm probably alive is just finding good mentors over and over and over, right? And I have 1,000 to thank, and they really made me a great man. And I was very careful in the ones that I found. Right, so, and listen, I was dished out the worst, you know. I think now, and timing is, you know, my dad has changed a lot. I have changed a lot. And now him and I have a relationship, and we both want to be better people, you know. And yeah, so this is the thing, man. If you want to become a better person, I hope you subscribe to this channel and to our all-in group. And I've got a couple other more channels, and I love you, and I love everything, and I'm rooting for you. And I'm out there in the spirit world just wanting to see everybody win, no matter how hard it is, no matter what you've got to overcome. And I understand, and I'll tell you the one word that's going to get you through: hardcore and truth. All right, 2 words: hardcore and truth. And you got to be true with yourself. You got to look in the mirror, say what is really going. You got to look at nature and say what is really going on here. And you got to get on your knees, literally, and you need to pray to the Lord and ask him to tell you what is going on here. Hua, much love.